Hey, what's going on, everybody? The other day, we got an announcement that PlayStation will be discontinuing physical disc for video games on January of 2028. And this was met with a lot of backlash, and rightfully so, because this takes a lot of power from the gamers ourselves, and it pretty much makes it exclusive that we'll be having to purchase our games digitally, and we'll be having to rely on the storage capacity of the device that we own, and we will potentially be missing out on sales that we could be getting from retailers in store. So this is a really big deal, and it was so bad that PlayStation kind of went silent for a couple days. This announcement was initially made on July the 1st. It is now July, as of making this video, is July 7th. And today they finally broke their silence and they decided to introduce a new product. And I'm just going to get into that real quickly. This product is called the Fletch wireless fight stick, and it's essentially a device, a tool that allows you to play fighting games with a, a controller stick. It's really nice, especially for people who enjoy like that retro type of, Street Fighter arcade machine type of nostalgic feel when playing their video games. um I think it's a pretty cool device, but what's really interesting is the comments underneath of this post, because obviously, like I said, they haven't posted for like 6 days. So it's insane that this is what they decide to come back and post. A lot of people noticed their silence and thought it was weird, because typically they would have posted something else on their X account, but they didn't. But today they decided to. So I am going to go through a few of the comments just so we can get like a consensus of how people still feel after that initial disappointment from the discontinuation of the physical disc post that they've made. So starting out, we got Domino's Pizza. Did someone order a digital pizza? Wow. It's so funny when I see brands try to capitalize on other brands takedown, especially when they could be in the same situation itself, but crazy. Somebody said, give us physical disc, and it spells Sony. That is insane. Then we have Sony, there's something you should address. And it's an elephant in the room. It says, address me. And it's funny because Nintendo actually made a post I think it was like a few hours after Sony's initial discontinuation of physical disc post that they made. And it was something along the lines of an elephant in a Mario game, and everybody was saying that Nintendo was sending shade at Sony. And honestly, I don't think they was. I think it was just ill-timed, and I think people were just trying to draw parallels between the two companies and make it seem like it was some type of competition, because honestly, Nintendo could be doing the same thing in the future, and they have already done so with games like Pokocopia. Pokopia, I can't ever say that game right. Games such as Pokopia, that's only available digitally. You can buy the physical game card, but it's not necessarily on the game card. You still have to go to the eShop to download the game. So it's like, it's basically a digital game. So I don't think we should be thinking Nintendo is sending shade at Sony. But this one right here is hilarious. We got SpongeBob. They tweeted, get him. Somebody put a post up that said, we want our games. No dis, no buy. They say roses are red, violets are blue. No buying digital, Sony you. Ain't no way, man. Wow, that's crazy. We got somebody stabbing a knife through their PlayStation. Okay, play has limits. Somebody said, damn, I was hoping it was a fully digital controller. Wow, this is crazy. you get an overall consensus of how people still feel about them, discontinuing physical games. And it's crazy because 2028 is still a while away, but most people, don't care how far away it is. They are upset, and rightfully so, because this pretty much gets rid of that secondhand market of being able to sell your disc physically, and even allow your friends to borrow a game. Like I remember those days. I used to give my friends games from my Game Boy, and trying to think, my 3DS, my GameCube. It's bringing back a lot of memories, but the fact that future gamers won't be able to do that, that's pretty disappointing. Bring back physical games, no disc, no buy. Do my physical games scare you? Wow, that is hilarious. That's quite the collection, man. Wow, I need to work on my collection because I don't have none like that. Somebody said, "Oh, you serious right now? Think posting about a wireless fight stick is going to make this blow over?" It's definitely not going to make things any better, and I honestly don't know what they could have said, because their PR team is probably working overtime to make this situation less bad for them, because I've seen them getting backlash from all sides. I saw people buying the Nintendo Switch 2 out of spite against Sony because of the fact that they are getting rid of their physical disc, which is kind of insane, because like I said, the same thing can happen with Nintendo. Like, I think that they will still have their own physical games going into the future, but at some point they will probably go digital. And Xbox, don't even get me started on Xbox. They most likely are preparing an announcement themselves for going completely digital. Somebody said, "Boys, they finally tweeted assemble." I've made the switch to PC. Excuse you. What problem? We got the elephant in the room again. This picture scares PlayStation. But as you see, gamers have given an overall consensus of how they feel, and I don't know how they're gonna make this situation less worse. Honestly, I think they probably would have been better off just phasing them out without saying anything, but then again, that probably would have made people even more pissed off, because we put so much money into you and you can't even give us the respect of letting us know that you're discontinuing physical disc. But I don't know. I really don't know how they could have gone about this, because I feel like this is the natural course of events, and one day we were going to go into an all digital future. But I believe that it's too soon, especially with the RAM AI chip shortage and how it's affecting the economy, especially when it comes to buying tech. It's probably the worst time to do so, but I don't know. It's really disappointing, and it's definitely a bit early. I feel like we don't even have the best storage devices right now. Like a terabyte can hold a lot of games, but like not many when you really consider how big these games are and how big Grand Theft Auto 6 will be when that comes out. Like, oh my God, like I can't even imagine how much space that game is going to require. But I believe it's something that needs to be considered, because as it stands right now, like on my Switch 2, I downloaded Final Fantasy 7 Remake, and I was having issues trying to find a couple games to delete off the system, because I don't have a upgraded micro SD card for it yet. And my older SD card from my original Switch, I can't use that on the newer Switch, and I had no idea about that. So when I downloaded Final Fantasy 7 Remake, I had to get rid of a couple games, and it was really annoying, because it was games that I really still wanted to play, but obviously I would want the newer game on my system so that it can justify my purchase and I'll be able to play it. But it does get really annoying having to delete games to put a newer game on, and then having to, if you want to go back to those games one day, having to uninstall that newer game and put those games back on your system. That process is really tedious, and I believe it's honestly going to lead us into going into a digital streaming realm when it comes to our gaming libraries, because it's going to get to a point where we won't be able to hold every gaming purchase we make in our system, because games get bigger over time, just like apps on the iPhone or apps on Android. They get bigger over time as newer features are implemented and added. It's just a part of the course of life. So it's sad, but I think eventually we was going to go into this realm of digital games being the main medium for us to purchase them. It's just when it comes to the storage capacity, I don't know how that's going to work out. It's definitely reached its limit, especially after GTA 6 comes out. But anyways, let me know how you feel in the comments below. We've seen a couple of the posts on X. I think they still got quite the PR crisis on their hand, and eventually people will move on. It's unfortunate, but it's true. They will move on. And it may be for the best, it may be for the worst. Who knows? But anyways, we'll continue to monitor this situation and see what happens next. Anyways, sound off in the comments below. Let me know how you feel about Sony's comeback tweet. It's really something. And yeah, subscribe, comment, and hype the video up if you could. I appreciate you for coming through.